What's up, guys? My name is Jin3ly. Welcome back to my channel. Here I talk about all things self-improvement, confidence, self-esteem, content creation, whatever the fuck comes up to my mind that I'm interested in, I am talking about. Right now, currently, the topic that came up to my head, whenever I talk to you guys about these topics is because I'm actually going through these things, and I'm learning along the way. So that's where the topics usually come from. But this particular topic is just basically saying enjoy your life. Like, enjoy your life. And it's so crazy to think that, like, if it wasn't for my friends, I really wouldn't go out like that. If it wasn't for my friends, I really would be stuck in the house 24/7. And I don't mind being in the house, but I have been isolated for a really long time. At a specific period of my life where I was actually super depressed, and very down for like 3 months. I was just sleeping back to back to back, going to work, sleeping, and I just felt like a robot. I just kind of, it was too much to handle. So my body was like, you need to relax. And it made me relax. Okay. So when your body is going through stuff, or you're going through stuff in general, you're going through survival mode, your body is eventually going to catch up with you. So what I have learned also is that with being in survival mode, maybe like the first half of my 20s, there's just a lot to learn, and you don't give yourself enough credit for a lot of the things that you go through because you have been in survival mode. It's kind of like there's no breaks. And I've been guilty of, because whenever I was in survival mode, I was so much more motivated. I was so much more like wanting to do things and determined and ambitious. And I'm still ambitious and I'm still determined, but it's kind of like a different air to it as opposed to what it was back then. So back then I was going through a lot, with the things that were happening in my life in general, from me moving from place to place, or just in general with like the passing of people in my life. It was a lot. Let's just put that there. It was a lot, and I was in survival mode. So my body caught up to me one day, and it was like, no. So once that happened, and I started to kind of learn how to soften and how to let go and how to understand myself a little bit better, I understood that things don't need to be rushed. And it's okay if, for example, your body does shut down for 3, 6, maybe 7, even a year at a time. If you oppose that, you're just going to go, if you are opposed of like your body taking rest, is going to catch up with you. It's whether health wise, mental wise, emotionally wise, everything adds up. And if you don't release it, if you don't let your emotions run through, if you don't process the things that you need to process, it's going to eventually do it forcefully. So beware of that, because that happened to me a few times. But yeah, with enjoying your life, I think after the survival mode happened for me and I kind of understood life, and I finally, like, when I came back home, I was living in Fort Lauderdale for 3 years, and then I came back home here to Tampa, and I have been here for about 2 years, and sometimes I feel super stagnant and I feel like I'm not reaching a next level, but I am way better than what I was or have been in such a long time. I am definitely balanced. I feel stable, which is what I've been trying to do for the longest time. I've been wanting to feel stable financially. I've been wanting to feel stable emotionally, mentally, in general. I've wanted to feel stable, and I haven't been able to feel stable for that long. And if you're watching this and you're going through your survival mode, or you're going through something that's super tough, understand that this doesn't last forever. This phase of your life does not last forever, but you do have to feel those raw, ugly ass emotions that comes along with your journey. You have to literally go through that, and it's rough, and I've cried, and it's like, especially when you grieve, I don't even understand how to explain unless you've lost somebody who's super important to you, or you have been through shit in your life, or just in general you have been through some trauma, you understand how hard it is to actually be able to sit down with yourself and have this conversation with yourself and actually like sit, just fucking cry. Like sometimes it's just hard to cry because we weren't conditioned, or we weren't, at least I wasn't brought up to be an emotional human being. I wasn't brought up to talk about my feelings. And whenever I felt like I did talk about my feelings or wanted to talk about my feelings because it was just so heavy on my soul, it was when people retracted it back, and it was kind of like whether people didn't care or it wasn't important as important as it was to me. I don't know if that makes sense. It wasn't as important to them as it was to me, at least not at that moment. Or people would just dismiss me. I've been dismissed so many times emotionally that I've learned how to put a guard there, and that is something that I'm still working on when it comes to, in general, friendships or even relationships, or even my family my family relationships. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of process, and once you understand and you're okay with knowing what your boundaries are with people and what to talk about and what not to talk about, that will help you out so much in the long run, because it fucking hurts. It fucking hurts when your feelings get dismissed, when you are not validated. And unfortunately, we always are like, oh yeah, we don't need validation from anybody else. Yes, maybe when it comes to like self-confidence and your self-esteem, we don't need validation from somebody else, but sometimes we don't even need the validation. I think we just need somebody's presence to say, hi, I'm here, you're okay, you're going to be okay. And I don't want to get emotional. I don't know why I've been getting emotional, but just to sit there and say you're going to be okay, or not even, I've had people in my life, very, very few, that they were there with their presence, and that's all that mattered to me, because I didn't want to talk, because I couldn't talk. And being able to be like, okay, I have somebody here who I know that if anything crazy goes through my mind, it's kind of like I have them here, and it's so important. And even if it's somebody like a phone call away, at least I know that I have them there. Your presence matters. And I've spoken about this in my other YouTube videos, but your presence in general matters. Don't think that it doesn't. Look around at the people that you do have. Even if it's one or two people, literally you can be somebody's entire world and you don't even know it, which is the craziest thing. But other than that, let's get back to the topic. So yeah, after I was in survival mode and I started to be stable with my life, I started to understand how to be a little bit more, or kind of grow in a sense of growing and evolving within myself to understand things that I didn't understand before, and understand that just because your life is stable, once your life starts getting stable, your mind is not going to understand it, and you're going to want to go back to those toxic environments, those toxic ways, because your mind is like, okay, I'm not safe here, because it's different than what you were conditioned or what you were around. So whenever you are stable, everything is going good for you, life is boring at this point, you're just like, damn, like I need to spice it up. And that's my problem with relationships in general. I'd be like, all right, let me spice it up, but not in the way of like hurting people. I don't ever want to hurt people, but like just being annoying. Once I'm annoying, that's how you know that I need you to be here with me, because I just nudge you when that happens. But other than that, I've come to understand that and that's fine. But yes, once you do that, you make sure to kind of just process it, to understand that it's okay for life to be boring, that it doesn't have to always be a high or like a really low for you to for your brain to say that you're okay. Okay, so let's put that there. And then after you become stable, learn how to enjoy your life, which is what I wanted to go ahead and say from the beginning. I still have problems doing this, and if you have any tips, you can definitely go ahead and provide it to me. But I like to avoid a lot of things, and going out is one of those things. But I've also with me going out and me being with my friends, I've noticed how much of life I'm missing out on. There's just so much to life. There's so much to life. And even if there's so many things to try, there's so many things to see. And we're always like, damn, like my life, you know, couldn't get any worse or something. Like there's so much to be grateful for. First, most and foremost, what is that thing that's a first and foremost? If you're healthy, that is your number one key. That all you have to do is literally open your blinds or walk outside and take a deep breath and be able to see the fucking sky and hear the birds and taste amazing ass food. And like there's other people who don't have these privileges, who don't have all six senses to them. And that's not saying that within their world, because people pity, like for example, like disabled people pity that, you know, people who don't have those things. And it's not even like I don't think you should ever pity disabled people, because they just see the world differently. Just because they don't have an ability that you have doesn't mean that their life is horrible. It doesn't. Everybody has their own struggle. So because everybody has their own struggle, they learn how to deal with those struggles just like we learn how to deal with everyday life. It's the same thing. To them, they just see the world in a different view, in a different way. But that's the only thing that I wish that, you know, people that do have a disability, I wish that, you know, like maybe like even people who are deaf or mute or blind, I would want them to see the world, to hear the world, to be able to do the things that, you know, normal people do, because it's such an experience. But again, I'm not taking away from their experiences, because I know that they can have an amazing life without having to have that, because that's just their normal, that's their everyday life. To them, it's not any different than us waking up in the morning and go to work. Like, it's literally their life. So that's how I see it. But there's so much to life that you can experience. And most of the times, the reason why we feel depressed is because we were, or still are, in survival mode. So we never understood, or we feel like we couldn't get what we really want, or our dreams. Because yes, circumstances are real, environments are real, things happen every day, trauma happens every day, things that you are out of your control happens every single day. It does. And we just can't sit here and pretend like it doesn't, because it just does. But that was my sink. Anyways, you know, I was getting to a point, and now I don't remember what I was getting to. That always happens to me. I don't know why. But yeah, so just because you're in survival mode doesn't mean that you can't reach those goals. It seems a lot harder, of course, because you are going through that. So in your mind, you might even push away the fact that you can even dream about doing something. And that happens a lot. Like, that happens a lot. And that's why people do get depressed, because they feel like they're not allowed to be themselves. Which in certain situations, if you're on survival mode, if you're actually going from place to place, you're thinking about your next place, the next roof under your head, where you're gonna eat next, how are your kids gonna eat, how's your pets gonna eat. You're thinking about where the money's coming from. So you are so focused on surviving, while all of this is like your dreams and your hopes and whatever, but you're so focused on surviving because that's how we're built, to survive, that we don't think it's a possibility for us to look and be like, damn, like that's actually possible for me. So a lot of people just they just kind of like get used to that life, because it is hard to get out of. It's not the easiest thing to get out of survival mode. It's not fucking easy. Even when you go through it, it's just like, damn, it took me all this time for me to understand these things. But yeah, if you're in that situation, just know that there are definitely a lot of things that you can still be grateful for, and you're not always going to be in the same place. You're just not. If you continue forward and you continue to work hard, if you keep trying, if you keep trying to look for opportunities, if you keep trying to look for people who are going to help you, those things will appear. They will always appear. Don't tell me otherwise. Keep that in your thinking. All these things will appear for me, and they will fucking appear. That's the whole point of faith. Okay? They will appear. So think about it that way. But once you're actually stable, you're still kind of depressed because you're just like, damn, like now I have everything. Everything is stable. Everything is good. I have my finances, but now it's like I don't have my dream life. So we're always thinking about more what we actually like, our ultimate goal. I think that's what keeps us depressed, because we think so much about our ultimate goal that we forget to be here right now. And once you get to that ultimate goal, and you're just like, okay, what else is there to life? So yeah, once you do that and you're still depressed because you don't necessarily have your dream job now, it's like, yeah, you have an income and your income is fine, but you don't love this job, or you fucking hate this job. And maybe, yes, you have a roof over your head, but you have badass roommates. Like, just little things like that can add up. But you can change those things little by little to your own apartment, getting a higher paying job, or getting a job that you actually like. But now that you're stable, focus on being happy. Focus on enjoying life for a little bit, because you've been in survival mode for so fucking long. Give yourself the chance to spend your fucking money that you earn every day. I'm not saying to blow it out of your bank. Like, make sure you have savings. But I'm saying, like, make sure you also have a day out of the week to go out. You don't have to even spend much money. Honestly, if you are a drinker or you're a smoker, go and get your smoke. Go and get your drink. You could get it from the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? Put it in a cup. Take the bottle with you. And it's cheaper than if you go and get a $20 drink at a restaurant, first of all, because them shits add up real quick. But you can do that, and you can go watch the sunset, or you can go paint in a picnic by the water, or you can go take a walk. You can ride your bike, you can skate. There's just so many things. You can walk with your dog, or if you have a pet. If you don't have a pet, pretty sure there's walking groups out there that you can join for free, and you can go ahead and do that. But make sure that you enjoy your life and put little things in place. Your life doesn't have to change right away, because change usually, if you have change too fast, that can affect you a lot, and it has to me. But if you change little by little, it will add up. So now let's say, at the end of the week, maybe on Fridays, not even Fridays, maybe even Saturdays, that's going to be my day for me to relax. That's going to be my day for me to pamper myself. I don't have the money to be all up in here, going to the nail salon, going to do my hair, going to do my eyelashes. But sure as hell, I'm going to do that shit by myself. I'm going to DIY that shit. Y'all see that shit? Cute, right? I know. DIY it. And it's actually very relaxing for me. A lot of people don't like it, but do it. If you want to save money that way and then use the money, for me, experiences are a lot more important than, I don't know why. Okay, let's put it like, I don't know why experiences are more important than appearances for me. They just are. I can be looking like a whole total bum, but if I'm with the people that I love and we're having a good ass conversation and we're laughing and we're eating, it's a good time for me. And I value that so much more than maybe looking my best and not having money to go out. So I think it really just depends on your priorities. If you're like one of those gym girlies that just go to the gym and comes back home and that's your lifestyle and that's what you like, then of course you're going to spend your money because you're not really doing anything else, so you're going to spend your money on yourself. But like me, and I'm a little bit cheap, you know what I'm saying? Because like, why you going to charge me a whole $250 for my hands and my feet? Now, I do it by myself for now. I'm not saying that it's always going to stay like that, because I actually even have a budget for my future of what I want my future to look like. And I want my nails to always be done. I want my eyebrows and my lashes to be done. I want my hair to be done. But that comes with time. And I am okay with that. So I do the best that I can with what I have right now. And then once I get to that point where I have the money to spend on my self-care, then I will do that. But for now, I'm still going to take care of myself. I'm still going to look good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just in general, enjoy your fucking life, bro. Because tomorrow, I've seen so many people pass away. My ex passed away when she was young. Okay, she was in her early 20s. I'm not even going to say the age, but she was in her early 20s. And it just wakes you up to, you know, unfortunately I couldn't necessarily live my life because I was in survival mode and I didn't understand how to I did the best that I could with understanding grief and how to get through grief. So I just couldn't live my life. And now that my heart is a little bit settled, and don't get me wrong, because I swear if I do talk about this topic, I will be bawling my eyes out. People don't see me fucking cry ever. But when I do, it's crazy, the amount that I cry. I haven't cried that hard in a while though, so I've been okay, which is what makes me super happy. It makes me really happy. But I also do have people around me that are beautiful, so sweet and so kind and fucking always making me laugh, and there's no fucking drama. Like, I love all my girlies. I do. I love them so much, and I don't know if I get to tell them this enough. Even when we're like tipsy, you know, I tell them, but it's like, I don't know if they understand how much these girlies mean to me. They mean so much. My family means so much to me. Yes, me and my family have differences, but I'm still gonna love them and they're still gonna love me. And it could have been so much more different, but I'm more than grateful because I have these people in my life. So grateful. But yeah, if you are, again, going through a hard time, it's going to be okay. Don't let yourself down, and please enjoy life. Enjoy life, because life, and this life makes you go crazy. Okay, if you need a social media break, take a fucking social media break. If you need to, I don't know, walk 10 miles, walk those 10 miles. If you want to do something that you want to do it. Like, just fucking do it, bro. It gets me so mad. Just fucking do it. All the comments and all the fucking shit that people are gonna throw at you, the shade, whatever the fuck, I mean, it's gonna be there. But at least you learn and you practice how to love yourself even more. You love yourself even more after the fact, because then you're just like, all right, now everybody knows what you like to do. They might talk shit behind your back, but you're still standing tall and you're still doing you. And that's what's beautiful about this. I think if this world was to be like, do what you want to do, I think the whole purpose of us having a vision in our minds whenever we do come to this earth is because everybody's supposed to be doing those things. And if we were to do those things, I think would be so much better as a society. But the government's not gonna let that happen. We already know that. I'm not gonna speak on that. But it is gonna be hard. It's not going to be easy. It would have been easier if everybody decided to be themselves. But unfortunately, we can't go through that because we grow up in situations where it forces us to protect ourselves from our real us. And that's why I'm so big on defending, because it's kind of like, I have a voice and I'm gonna use it. Okay. But yeah, that was all. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Make sure that you fucking enjoy your life. Make sure that you think about all the simple things. All the simple things are things that make you happy. And simplicity can also mean money. So if you like money, go get your fucking money. If you don't like money, go get money just to pay your bills and then do what you like. And your life is gonna be good. One more story before we go. I remember when I first started going to dance classes, and mind you, I was living in a room in Fort Lauderdale, not where I wanted to be at all, with a sucky ass job that paid me so bad. Like, it didn't pay me good. And I remember going to dance classes and I remember telling myself, I'm like, wow, this is my dream life. Like, if I can do this, if I'm able and have the ability to do just this and go to dance classes, I'm living my dream life. And I will literally tear up because it was that simple for me to just show up at a classroom. And I think that's why I've also been a little bit depressed, because I haven't been to a dance class in a really, really long time. And I think it's my fear of starting all over again in a dance class. It's a different setting when you're like with other women who are fucking beautiful, gorgeous, confident in their dancing, and you're still getting into it and you're like, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. But that is something that I have to work through, and I will eventually hit up a dance class again. When will that be? We won't know yet. We will see when that happens. I do try to do like dance classes at home, but that's like maybe 2 times a month. It's not as exciting doing it by yourself. So find yourself a group that does that and go do that. But anyways, I love you guys so much. You guys can like, subscribe, whatever the YouTubers be saying. And fucking love yourself. Love yourself for who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Not what anybody else told you to be. For who you are. Happy Cinco de Mayo.